Now at 11, test drives turned into theft. Why police think these scammers are targeting certain communities.
And temperatures are dropping. We are expecting a little patchy frost by tomorrow morning, but it's not the coldest night of our 7-day.
Plus, sobering statistics affecting Indianapolis youth. Why one family who lost their teen to gun violence is now urging parents to step up. Police say it was a coordinated setup, a scam. Buyers showing up to test drive cars they saw on Facebook Marketplace. Then in some cases, snatching the title, driving off, and never coming back. 3 people are now charged. And as our Alex Almanza shows us, this scam may have targeted specific victims.
Jose Pacheco says it started with a Facebook message, a buyer interested in his 2012 Kia Soul. It seemed a little fast or strange to me at the time because she immediately asked for my address and I gave it to her. He says the buyer drove over, bringing a man and 2 children with her. Pacheco doesn't speak any English, so they communicated through a translator app. After a short test drive, he says that's when things changed. I take the document, I have my title here, and I show it to the man. While I'm handing him the title, he started telling me to move over there. And I said, okay, but what's going on? As I moved a little way back, like from here to there, he rolled up his window and reversed. His car, the title, and his phone he lent them to translate, gone. Police later found his car sitting in 25-year-old Sierra Griffith's driveway. The title already transferred. Court records show Sierra Griffith, her brother Chad Griffith, and accomplice Cody Webb face felony charges related to auto theft and corrupt business. Police say they worked together, often targeting Hispanic sellers. Edward Aguilera says the same thing happened to him, but when a detective called back to notify his car was found, they also shared what the suspects told police.
They were like, oh no, we're just doing this to Hispanic. They're all illegal. So it's like they were doing us a favor. And I was like, oh my God, that's really sad.
Aguilera now has a warning for anyone selling a car online.
Don't do what I did. It's the title or the keys, either or, so they can not run away.
Retired Lawrence police officer Gary Woodruff is also sharing some tips for people selling online.
The absolute best advice is to go to that safe place, that safe location. There's law enforcement agencies and law enforcement buildings really all over the place, especially here in central Indiana.
Woodruff also advises buyers to not meet alone, only sign documents after the sale, and to always be ready to walk away if something doesn't feel right. In Indianapolis, Alex Almanza, 13 News.
So tonight we're learning Chad Griffith is in the Marion County Jail. The 2 other suspects are now out on bond. Tonight, Metro Police are investigating the death on the north side after a body was found in a retention pond. According to a police report, it was the body of a woman. The discovery made near Michigan Road and West 86th Street. We saw dive crews and police officers at the scene here just after 2 o'clock today. IMPD tells us there was no trauma found, but the Marion County Coroner's Office will determine the cause and manner of death. Of course, we'll keep you posted once we learn more. 11:03, let's give you a live look outside on this chilly Saturday night. My goodness, you probably felt the change earlier today. And Rob, it sounds like we're kind of going to be in this cold pattern for at least a couple days.
At least a few days for sure. Yeah, the cold air is settled in. It's going to stay with us. The only thing that's going to help to warm us up is just some sunshine over the next couple of days. But as the skies clear at night, it allows the temperatures to drop pretty quickly. We're currently sitting at 47 now. One of the things I do on a night like this is I say, okay, where are the temperatures currently and where does the model think the temperatures are at this hour? What is the guidance suggesting where we should be at this hour? Guidance thinks we're actually a little bit cooler than this. What I mean by that is we're a little bit warmer than we were expecting. And part of the reason why is this. The clouds haven't moved out quite as quickly as we were hoping. This is good news. This means it may keep us a little bit milder for any gardeners out there. This could keep our temperatures from reaching what Future Track thinks is going to be very close to freezing for tonight. Now look, I do think many locations will get close to freezing, and I think patchy frost is going to be a concern. That's why we do have patchy frost in the forecast for tonight. I'm still calling for 33, but if those clouds can hold on a little bit longer, it may help us out for very early morning temperatures to not quite reach 32. Patchy frost is still going to be a concern. By the way, you can have patchy frost develop when the air temperature is into the mid-30s. It doesn't have to be at 32. It may be 32 right at the surface. Tomorrow we're going into the upper 50s. Monday morning maybe even colder. I'll show you that part of the forecast coming up.
All right, we'll see you then, Rob. Thank you.
Yeah.
We learned from IMPD this week homicide numbers involving kids in Indianapolis are up nearly 4%. Indy's top cop wants change, and an Indianapolis family who knows the pain firsthand is trying to prevent more loss.
We owe it to our youth to keep them safe.
Children dying from gun violence. Chief Tanya Terry told the City County Council that in the first quarter of 2026, the percentage of juvenile homicide victims are up nearly 4%. Now, when Otis Riggins heard that, he agreed it needs to stop.
I can't even imagine some of the stuff I'm hearing from my grands that's going on with what they encounter.
Otis is the grandfather to Trayvon Riggins, a 15-year-old who was killed on a playground in March, and so far, no arrests.
Always called Papa.
As he remembers his grandson, he doesn't want another family going through what his family is going through.
In all honesty, we're still grieving.
He says kids need to put down the guns.
Is learn to love yourself. Learn to love your family.
And parents need to be more involved.
You got a lot of parents that are still out there ripping and running, doing a lot of things they got no business doing. They're not at home with their children. They're letting their children raise themselves. And so when you allow that to happen, this is what you see. You know, I can't blame the kids. They're only doing what they've been allowed to do.
Riggins says there's groups that help kids stay out of trouble, and he wants to get his other grandkids involved. In Indianapolis, Marina Silva, 13 News.
There is a lot of conversation around youth violence in our city right now, and a group is looking to help kids be a part of it. Today, we stopped by the Youth Justice Leadership Program. That's a cohort of about 25 high school students who learn about leadership, advocacy, and life skills for about 9 months. It's all about teaching young people how to advocate for themselves and their peers about issues that affect them.
It's extremely important because they need to know like who makes the policy, how they can drive some of the decisions that are made for them, how they could research to see why some of the decisions have already been made so that they understand youth safety and gun violence prevention and things like that. That's so important right now.
Organizers say this program also spreads throughout the community as kids take the skills they learn here back to their family and friends. Soon, we are expecting to learn about memorial plans for radio legend Bob Kevoian. He passed away Friday at age 75. Of course, he co-hosted the nationally syndicated Bob and Tom show from Indianapolis for years. Our Anne-Marie Tiernan sat down with his co-host, Tom Griswold, about their work together.
Bob and I would get in trouble for talking too much and not playing the records. But we had a great time. And I think it was, I often say that the best radio isn't heard, it's overheard. And Bob would always say the same thing, which is we were talking, we were having fun, and oh, if there are people out there listening, that's great too.
For tomorrow, we're looking at 58 for our high temperature, near 60 for most of you, but it's going to be even colder for Monday morning than what we're expecting for tonight. I'll show you that coming up.
Plus, a stunt-turned-rescue operation at a football game. Check this out, how this skydiver got stuck on a scoreboard. Next.